Hello folks, and greetings from England. We've got a weekend of Formula 1 and glorious weather to enjoy here. But first of all, let's have a look at what's new with Microsoft 365 and Teams. We're going to be looking at the week 10th of July to the 17th of July. And these are the things we're going to cover off. We've got our usual revised updates. We've got 3 full updates for you to look at as well. Bite-sized updates and ones to watch, and then we're going to have a recap on how you keep up with 365. However you are watching or listening to this, please like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications so you get this next week. Alright folks, so first of all, our revised timelines. OneDrive and SharePoint, the immersive reader. So this is the ability to click on a file and go straight into the immersive reader without having to open the application first. Should be rolled out by mid-August. Microsoft Lists, that custom list templates that we should be having anytime now. Actually, you're going to get it mid-August to September. Okay, so straight into our first full update. The ability to use a new feature called SharePoint News Boost. So you can prioritize important news and announcements. You can see on this this screenshot on the right hand side there, you can turn it on and off. And you will notice, let's just go back for a second. You can see here you've got the ability to set a date on that. So if you've got like an expiry date, you want it just to become a regular news story, then you can do that. So it appears at the top of news feeds across 365. It just means that you can prioritize the visibility of certain articles for that set time. And it's due late July to mid-August, and that should drive readership to the articles which are more important to your organization. Okay, so the new default setting options when opening Office files in Teams. I'm really looking forward to this, folks, because I personally like looking at Office documents using the full desktop version of the software. I'm a big fan of all the cloud stuff. I like having the ability to quickly look at something in a browser. But I do prefer the full version of the software. And you're going to be able to set a default for Word, Excel, or PowerPoint files. You can choose between Teams, desktop app, and a browser. But of course, if you're not using a desktop app, if you've, like I do know of people who are still using Windows 7 devices, and they have to look at Teams in the browser for whatever reason. That organisation are still doing that. So some people won't have all those choices. You can also override your settings on a case-by-case basis. So if you want to, you can go in and you can say, I want this particular file to open in, say, the browser, or to stay open in Teams if you want to. But you'll also see there, if at some point you think actually you've made a mistake, then right from any particular file, you can change your default on the fly like that. So look out for that, mid-August to late September. I've got to be honest, folks, we've got used to things being late. I wouldn't be surprised if that ends up on the revised timelines list at some point. Fluid live components in Teams chat. I think this looks awesome, folks. So let's say that you and I and a couple of other people listening, but for whatever reason we got together and we're working in a chat, and I say drop a table in there or a list or whatever it might be. If I send it to you as a recipient of that, it's just fixed, right? It's just kind of like read only. However, we can have the ability, and look on the screen here, you can see this in practice right now. There's multiple people working on this to-do list. So it just means that you can edit in line, in real time, and by anybody in that chat. So to do it, you just set, we're having a normal chat. You just click on Insert Live Components, then you set it up, and you can change their permissions if you want to. If you've done all your editing, you can make it you can make it read only if you want to. But honestly, folks, I think that is awesome. Due late August for most of us. Honestly, folks, it's probably going to be late, isn't it? Because that's what we've come to expect. But maybe it'll drop on time, who knows. But guys, that looks really great. Looking forward to that. So another short one this week. Microsoft, Outlook on the web and mobile, suggested reply support for new languages. So if you're an international watcher or listener and that's of interest to you, hop over to the blog because I've listed out the languages there that you can look at. The Outlook data files in OneDrive. So Microsoft don't like you put in your PSD files in your OneDrive or SharePoint. And there's a cut-off date of 16th of August for them changing how long those are kept for. I think it's 30 days off the top of my head. If you're a saving your PSD files to OneDrive kind of person, then you need to hop over to the blog. You need to check that out. Dynamics 365 and Industry Solutions and Power Platform. the 2021 release wave plans is available now. So either search yourself, go and find that thing. I've put the page 1 of the PDF on the screen there, so you know when you found it, you found the right thing. Okay, or hop over to the blog and do and follow the link there. So it just gives you a heads up of what's coming later in the year. Yammer community header in the Yammer embed feed. Look on the right, look at left hand side, guys. There's before and after, so you can see there. It's just got the header in there. That's configurable, but I don't know why you wouldn't want that. Okay, let's go a little bit further. I keep touching my brow, folks. It is absolutely sweltering here. It's like 28 degrees, and I know that if you live in Canada or North America right now, you won't be impressed with that. But trust me, folks, us Brits, 28 degrees is really hot. Okay, so Microsoft Teams, auto expiration. This is important. Also, auto expiration of meeting recordings stored on OneDrive and SharePoint. Coming September 2021, your organizations, and especially if you've got any storage issues, if you guys are hammering the storage your organization has got, or it might be, folks, from a data protection point of view, or GDPR, or just the policies in your industry, look out for your organization setting an expiration date on there. And you'll be reminded, as the person who's responsible for the recording, you'll be reminded that it's about to expire and get deleted. But look out for that, folks. I think that's going to be really useful from a compliance point of view. But you just need to be aware of it. SharePoint, the ability to remove the title, region gradients, subtle one. It might be that you want your SharePoint pages just to be that little bit sharper. You don't want that kind of greyed out bit in between. So you got the ability to turn it off if you want to. Now, did you remember what feels like a long time ago, Microsoft talking about the walkie-talkie feature on your smart devices when you got Teams on there? So it's push to talk, you press it, and you talk to everyone in that group, and then you release it so that you can listen. Well, that's finally coming in September. That's like for like frontline worker type people, isn't it? I'm guessing. Or maybe, I'm just wondering, listen, it just popped into my head. So if it's crazy talk, then just move on to the next topic. But I wonder, maybe Microsoft Teams, like the family or the personal one, like Teams for your private life, that might be quite useful with your kids. If you both got data plans, you've got Teams open, you can use it as walkie-talkie to communicate with your kids, while you're like around the house, or I don't know, you're camping or whatever. So it'd be interesting to see what users come out for that. Microsoft Teams, paging on video gallery for the web. So I think I talked last week about the ability for on the full version of Teams, you got 49 video feeds in there. You can page and look at another 49. Who needs to look at 98 video feeds? I'm not entirely sure, folks. Maybe if you got a huge screen in an office, maybe that would work. But anyway, so the browser version now. So this is coming to that. So whatever the limitation might be for what you're looking at, you can page across to look at more video feeds. September 2021 for that. Okay, so folks, we're done. We've reached the end of this week's update. As usual, guys, maybe you prefer to get your updates from Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, podcast, the blog. Maybe you'd like on a Monday morning to go to work, and then you've got a written version of this that you can send that out to your colleagues. So, folks, head over to the website. Just do a search on the internet for Super Simple 365, or on any of those platforms at Super Simple 365, and you'll get the updates the way you want them. We're done. I'm going to go and catch up on what's happening in the Grand Prix. And folks, hope you have whatever you're doing. Hope you're having a great weekend, and I'll catch you next week.